because of the hypocrisy, the confusion. And what you're saying is, okay, just when you're open to Christianity, you're going to the websites and they can't agree on anything. So from an atheist standpoint, you could be angry because, wait a second, you're saying there's a truth, but you can't agree on what it is.
Exactly. That was exactly the problem. And because as an atheist, I wasn't sure, Christians had said, you need to have faith in Jesus Christ. And I said, okay, I get it. I understand that if I'm going to convert to this religion, that's what I need to do. So my burning question was, who is Jesus Christ? Now, some of these websites were saying Jesus Christ is pro-choice, pro-euthanasia. He's okay with, all sorts of, all sorts of stuff that other groups would say, no, that's actually really immoral and that's dangerous. So you'd have people who would read scripture and present this picture of Jesus as like, I'm okay, you're okay. And then other people, more of an angry, wrathful Jesus. And as a person who was not a Christian, I could not get my question answered. Who is Jesus Christ? Because nobody agreed on how to interpret the Bible. And the other thing is sometimes when people would disagree with one another, they would say, well, you interpret that one scripture verse that way, but you're not looking at how it works with this Old Testament verse and something from one of Paul's epistles. But then I thought, so this requires a lot of free time to gain an encyclopedic knowledge of the Bible. And at this point, I had one small child and another on the way, and I thought, this is not a system that works, because I can't believe that I would, in order to know Jesus Christ, that I would have to have the free time to gain this encyclopedic knowledge of the Bible. I don't have time to become a scripture scholar. And so I was very troubled by all of this.
Well, I'm going to keep pushing you on that because I want to make sure we get to all the details.
So the blog ended up actually being a key thing for me, because I actually wrote this post that I thought would be a farewell post where I was saying, this isn't working. I don't see any agreement among Christians. And I also pointed out to them, this system that you're telling me, or my readers weren't telling me, but I had just sort of absorbed from cultural osmosis, this system requires the printing press. I said, what did people do before the printing press when the average family, not only did they not have time to become personal scripture scholars, but they couldn't have afforded a Bible and a concordance and a biblical encyclopedia. And so I wrote a post saying, I thought I had experienced something with, when I first asked that what if question. I thought, I sensed that there was something real about this Jesus person, but this is not checking out. I don't see a divinely inspired religion here. And that's when, my readers had kind of been holding back because they didn't want to push me, and that's when someone was like, okay, we got to lay it out. What you're looking for is the Catholic Church. And so they told me this idea that, what if just how God used imperfect people, he inspired them to write perfect doctrine in the scriptures, what if he didn't stop doing that? What if he kept doing that and gave us a living church that can speak to all people in all places and all times? And I thought, oh, are they talking about the Catholic Church? And I was torn because I thought, well, we can't become Catholic. And Joe was just, he grew up, fairly anti-Catholic. And he said, oh, we can't become Catholic. And I said, I know, we can't, obviously, but this is really the only system that works. And so that was we didn't know what we were going to do at that point.
Well, did you quickly deal with doctrine at Catholic doctrine?
Well, on the encouragement of my readers, we started just researching everything we could. And you're probably familiar with this moment, like when you crack open the treasure chest of the intellectual tradition of Catholicism, just the richness of wisdom. It was this overwhelming feeling of like, if I lived to be 500 years old, I wouldn't even scratch the surface on this. And so, we've always, both of us have always loved reading and learning. And when we discovered the Catholic intellectual tradition, we said, wow, there's really something going on here. And
of all the issues, was the big final straw that convinced you in the reality of the Catholic Church versus all the other churches?
Without question, 100%, it was contraception, because I had always been adamantly pro-choice. I mean, I said I would lay down my life to protect a woman's right to choose, and I meant it. I meant every word of it. And so when I was first researching Catholicism, even when I was pretty far along in that journey, I was really torn about that issue because I thought, I think I'm always going to be in favor of abortion. I don't think that's going to change. And I was struggling with how I would reconcile that, because in that secular worldview, that is the whole key to how women have freedom over their bodies. And then once I realized that it was contraception that had sold out women's freedom, that, you know, that our society tells women to go ahead and engage in the act that creates babies, even if they feel they absolutely cannot have a baby. And then, you know, contraception isn't 100%. And then society tells them, well, just, you know, go down to your local abortion facility and that's how you can, you know, continue to have freedom over your body. When I saw that that was all connected and it all hinged on the issue of contraception, and the church is the only institution left telling women the truth on that issue, that's when I was 100% convinced at that moment.
All right. Now, you